and just like magic I appeared. Alright, I came across something on the yard the other day and I was just going to handle it real quick, but then I thought, maybe it'll make an interesting video, or maybe not, but I just want to show you something, a little background. This was a swarm that I caught in my own yard from my own bees, maybe in June I think it was, and I put them in a really inconvenient spot, which kept me from checking on them as much as I normally would, which really isn't that much anyway, but I really just didn't ever want to crawl back in that spot and check on them. So finally the other day I said, screw it, I'm going back there, I'm going to check on them. And let me see if you think the same thing. As soon as I pulled out the first frame, I knew right away what was going on immediately. And I'll show you, in case you don't already know, that if you see this, pack it in. If you only have one colony and it looks like this, you're done for the season. If you have a whole bunch, or at least a few, you have some options. But let's see. Okay, that won't really tell you much, just a little outside honey frame, but maybe this will tell you. You can see a whole lot of drones, and that's not always a problem, but you see how small they are? They're really small drones. They're not the normal big ones. Let's see what the next one looks like. Yep, see, a lot more small drones, really pokey drone brood poking all the way out in the middle of worker brood, and a whole lot more drones. See how tiny they are? They're really small. They're almost the same size as workers. Now, laying workers is one thing, but when they get to where a whole bunch of drones already emerged from those laying worker cells, and this one's to the point where the workers aren't even laying anymore. All these cells are empty, they don't have any eggs in them, but there's so many tiny drones. See, thousands of little tiny drones. Get one real close. Alright, they're real little. So this is just a situation that I call way beyond laying worker. In nature, this colony would just dwindle down till they got weak enough that they just get robbed out. There's actually a respectable amount of honey in here for a one box little colony for right now, but there's no new workers being produced. There's no queen in here. They're just going to dwindle until they get robbed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this box away, shake all the bees out, and then go through my other colonies where I know I have some frames that aren't totally drawn out, some foundationless frames, or maybe some storage frames that aren't totally drawn out. And I'll take all these and fit them in. If there's a nice looking one with a lot of worker size cells, I'll put that in the middle, but if it's storage or a lot of drone comb, I'll put that on the outside. And I'll just replace a bunch of frames that aren't drawn completely with these, because these are all drawn. I think these are all foundationless frames. I don't think I even gave this colony one frame. I might have given them one frame of drawn comb, but okay, there's plastic foundation on the outside. So I'm a big fat liar, but yeah, a whole ton of drones in here. Plenty of pollen in here. They still are working. They're still putting stuff away. They're just kind of doing it for no reason, for someone that keeps bees. And we're in the dearth right now, so robbing's going to get started really quick, real soon. Here's a foundationless one. Nicely drawn, some drone in there, some worker. It's alright. Alright, so before I yak on for 23 minutes, the main idea of this little story is, when you see a ton of little tiny drones in your colony, it's just done. Don't even, unless you're early in the season, like if you're in June or something, or May, yeah, you can do some stuff to try to fix it. What I would do is probably just trade all these frames for, I go to 8 colonies and trade out 8 frames, a regular drawn comb with eggs and everything in it, and let them raise a queen. There's plenty of time, but it is the end of July and I don't need another colony. I'll be fine not having this one, but I could use a drawn comb. So there you go.